Good morning to the viewers of the live stream, whether you're watching live or after it saves as a video. We do have an early stream today, but there's really no time difference as far as if you're watching it afterwards. So there's a lot to talk about today because we just got confirmation that we're still bearish. We are literally getting in real time confirmation that we are still bearish. And that is because every FOMC meeting we've pulled back. We're doing it again. And that is very exciting. That means that we know we're going down. The question is, are we going down now? Or are we going to get one of these? That's the question here. And we'll have our answer probably, yeah, even here, right? There was a FOMC meeting somewhere. We went up and then we went down. But now we know definitively that the direction is down. I just don't know 100% if it's going to hold. That's the problem here. But we'll discuss everything right now. Again, here it is again. FOMC, you had a rally after the move down, and then we went down. So there's only two outcomes. We either get this or we get this. That's what we've simplified it down to. But welcome to another live stream. We got Yasir Cardins, AppyPen is in the chat, Richard Desmond, Whale Talk, Moonwolf. How you guys doing today? So we got the first part of the move. Now we wait and see if it's going to be a higher low. Because if it's a higher low, then we're going to get the relief rally. I still have hope that it is a higher low because the S&P is still bullish. And so is Robinhood and Webull and Coinbase for that matter. MSTR is bleeding, which gives us the bearish bias in the long term. And their dividend stock is nuking, so we know we're going down. There's no question. The question is, are we going to get a higher low? And that's what I'm watching for. We're coming up pretty close. We've been holding the 786 retracement, so I'm curious to see if it holds again. This one was actually the 618 retracement here. This one was the 786 retracement. So we're literally right there. It's down here. So but man, it's just so textbook what it's doing right now. It's done this every time. So you do want to see something like this because it lets you know that it's still doing the pattern that it's been doing the whole bear market, which now we have confirmation that we're still bearish. The question here is, again, is it going to hold? And I still think it could, but I'm not going to tell you it has to. You know, something like this would be absolutely beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. It really would. And then from there, we start our waterfall down to the bottom. It lines up perfectly too, where the bottom is down here somewhere. It doesn't really look the best structurally, I'll admit. It kind of looks a little not really Bitcoin-ish, but at the same time, we did do that in 2018 where it just bounced for no reason and then it went down. So I'm not going to rule it out, especially because the S&P 500 is still bullish. I think that's the driving factor for me. In 2022, the S&P was bearish, but now it's bullish. It's like 2018. So I still have hope. It's just now it's time. It's like doing what it's doing what we drew. The question is it going to hold? That's the question. But again, we know it's bearish. Like we know that's not the bottom now. Because it wouldn't be doing what it's been doing every time we went down if it wasn't going to go down. Question is, will it hold? And I think if it does, we're going to start our rally. But the thing is, like, we're going to sit here for a couple of days. It's not just going to go right back up, which is what it's been doing. It's been doing this like ranging after you get the move down. So again, it'll tell you that we're bearish, you know? It's good. We're getting exactly what we needed to get. The question is, again, I keep saying, is it gonna hold? That's the question. Is it gonna hold? We got Craig Coates in the chat, Crypto Meowisis, Sam Storm, Whale Talk, Moon Wolf. We picked up the cat from the society. We went home and opened the top, tried to give it food. So it ran away. Oh, man. Now you have to put another trap out, huh? Another cat trap. Another bear trap. But this is it, gentlemen. Like we have confirmation that we're going down. We have confirmation that we're going down. Now, what's interesting is I don't want to be that guy, but the guy said they expect to raise interest rates again. So, what do you guys think about one more rally and then we get a recession and then they cut rates like they did for COVID, which triggers the V recovery? I'm telling you, if this all plays out the way that we drew it, it's going to be a generational opportunity. Now they're saying they're going to raise interest rates again. And you want to know the kicker? Oil is pulling back now. Right? It's coming right to our box, man. I'm telling you, I'm pretty sure this is all about to play out. I just don't know when. I wish I knew when. It could be now, but I'm hoping it's not. I'm hoping we're going to get the relief rally. I still have hope, but I'm not going to say it has to happen. You know, something like this would just be perfect, man. It lines up with our Moon Boy chart, and it lines up with the 4-year cycle. Like this would just be the dream scenario here. And the bottom is in the first 3 weeks of October. Just a generational opportunity if this ends up happening. I just don't know if it's going to. That's the problem. Berto's in the chat. 40 bogeys. Yeah, it's okay, man. It's not even about the viewers anymore. It's about getting through this bear market. You know what's interesting? The total dominance or the total is holding up. Total 3 is holding up too. So the crash might not be starting yet. This is like a Bitcoin driven move right now. But yeah, MSTR is bleeding. MSTR is finally bleeding out. I could have made $400 on my Uniswap trade. I was right, but I didn't hold it. Yeah, that's the tough part about trading is having conviction. That's where I'm at right now too. You know, like it's doing exactly what we said. Now I just have to see it bounce. That's why I'm saying if we get this, that's it, man. That's it. Straight down. But that's the tough part about trading is having conviction. They won't let the crash happen during midterms. I don't even know what that means, honestly. I think the bottom is probably before the election, no? Or right at the election. But I wanted to look at a couple of things. Oh wow, Avalanche is back at the low. Yeah, Avalanche is done, man. That shit's done. I think Avalanche is going all the way back to 280. Yeah, this is bad. Bitcoin's not going below 55 burgers. Starting to think it is going to go below 40K, honestly. I really, the more I look at this, I mean, especially because the S&P is not budging, man, that we're going to get the sell signals that we always get. Like, you guys don't understand how critical this move down was. Like, dude, it's almost verbatim repeating what it's been doing the whole bear market. They're out of good news. I don't know. I don't think so. Again, I'm not an expert. At some point, we have to go down. I'm trying to be open to the possibility of a bounce. I'm very, very open to just going straight down. It's very likely, in my opinion, there's nowhere to go but down here. I'm trying to check and see, is it possible that we get one more bounce? And the only way is if we hold up here. That's it. But the fact that we're getting exactly what was drawn tells me that it's guaranteed to be bearish. Because this was the only outcome for it to be bearish. If we were bullish, we would have went up. But because we're doing what we always do, and it was bearish every time, it's bearish. Now we know with certainty that it's bearish. We just have to let it play out. There's really nothing left to do. Question is, higher low or not? Oh, that's what his name is, higher low. But we're getting exactly what we need. Especially with this chart, man. This chart is bearish. But again, this is what happened here, you know? Like it looks like it's gonna go down, and then you get a relief rally, and then it goes down. I'm getting a little bit excited, I'm gonna be honest. Just a little bit, but not that much because I need this to hold. That's the problem. But now we know, like we know it's bearish, man. Yeah, see, look, even this thing is pulling back. See how Bitcoin is much higher? Yeah, nah, we're bearish, man. This is so good. Oh man, if this ends up working, it's gonna be a generational opportunity. I don't know what's the S&P doing. You think the S&P is really gonna do what we're looking for? Where it just consolidates into the summer and then it just goes straight down? You know, that's what happened in 2018, man. Did this, we had a bottom in March. Look, it's almost the same thing. It doesn't even have to be COVID. It could be 2018 too. They're pretty similar, honestly. But when we came into the summer, we started getting bearish. Yeah, this lines up perfectly, man. I love that oil is coming down now. It's so bearish. And what was the other thing? Gold and silver coming down too would also be bearish. Yeah, I think we're getting ready for the bubble boy bearish. I'm hoping there's one more bounce. So, but if there's no bounce, then I'll have to live with it because there would still most likely be a bounce in the summer like this. Starting in August, SpaceX employees will be able to sell their stock. Oh, they can't sell it now? That sucks. Yeah, I mean, when you get this kind of price action, man, it's just not good. We're really close. I just gotta have faith, gotta trust the process here. See if we get the bounce. I think we're prepared though. Man, you guys don't understand how big this is. Because I'm trying to think here. I'm really starting to think that if we get this bounce, the bull market's not going to start until February or March, which means the S&P 500 has to have a V recovery. It almost has to. And the fact that it's not falling means that we need to have some type of mega crash, as YouTube would call it. You know, it's not going to be like 2022 where it grinds. It's it's going to be a mega crash. And now that guy's saying they're going to raise interest rates. I'm thinking to myself, well, maybe they'll cut interest rates because we're going straight down. You know, and then you look at the US dollar, finally it just made a higher high again. And like Weren't these the relief rallies? You had the relief rally here. You had the relief rally here. You had something. I don't know if I'd say this is a relief rally, but you know, it's hopium, but it makes me think maybe we got one more relief rally. I'm clinging on to hopium that there's going to be a bounce. Do pawn shops buy shoes? Probably if they're expensive. Bull market starting December of 2026? No, the bottom should be this year. When I say bull run starting, I don't mean the bottom. I'm talking about the actual time where it goes up, you know? Like this, basically. This shouldn't be until March or April, but the bottom should be in October or November, at least at the rate we're going. This is it, man. There's really nothing left to draw. I think if we get the higher low, we can proceed with the plan. If we don't get the higher low and we just go down, that's going to be a problem. But there's no question we're getting there. We're really getting there. It's going to happen. Like we are one stage away from the bear market bottom. Look at the heat map. Every time we get these blue candles, the next chapter is maroon, and maroon is the bottom. So we are very, very close. But I want you to understand that if we get this higher low, man, it's gonna be something for the ages. I just hope it happens. Because now the VIX is going to start getting bullish. Remember we talked about this a couple of days ago? What did I say? When the 5-day stock RSI on the VIX crosses into... Yeah, didn't I say something last time? Look, the VIX on the 5-day just crossed through the dotted line. If you mark every time that happens... It like lets you know beforehand that something's about to happen. Man, I think we're prepared. I don't know if it's going to hold. That's the problem. I guess what happens if it doesn't hold? If it doesn't hold, I would have to assume we would probably get something like this. Which is not, it's not impossible. Not impossible. Because we would bottom in July and still rally into August. This is my alternative. These are the only options I see, honestly. There's no other way out of here. It's both down. MSTR is closing on $100. Yeah, it's at 111. Oh my gosh, look at how close it is. If I miss this drop, it's gonna be tragic, but there's nothing I can do. Yeah, MSTR is getting really close to the low here. AMC is going to 0, Ryan. If you're making money right now and you're talking about making money, every single time in history when someone talks about making money, this is usually the top. Not financial advice. Do I think we're going to drop? Just rewind the stream about 30 seconds. Sorry, like 5 minutes. Here we go, man. We're getting confirmation that we're bearish. This is big. Look at it. Let's take a look at AMC. Yeah, I would honestly take profit, man. I'm telling you. Don't round trip, man. I know you think it's gonna go to $100, but we're getting ready for a bear market capitulation. So if you're making money right now, that's really good, but I have to assume, maybe I'm wrong, but by the end of the year, it should be down here again. That's my projection. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But we're getting ready for a nasty drop in the next 3 months. So higher lows for 2 says, I'm excited about to get my toes wet. I appreciate the 2. Yeah, the only thing I would caution you over is just be prepared for MSTR to go much lower than anticipated because it's very difficult to predict a proxy, you know? There's a world where it goes all the way to $50. So if you get in at 100 and it gets cut in half, you just have to be prepared for that. This is such a good indicator though. We gotta see a higher low here. I mean, we don't need to see a higher low. It could be a lower low too, but just like a bounce or something. But if we just go straight down, then so be it. You've been trying to find my page for a year. You just gotta hit the subscribe button and you'd be able to find me. That's interesting. I appreciate the 2. MSTR is a 3-year hold for me. Yeah, but you want to maximize your gains too. You don't want to just, I mean, you got to do what's best for you, man. I appreciate the 2. Oh, baby, if we get this high or low, man, you guys don't understand. Operation. Operation Save the Cat. What was I gonna look at? Oh yeah. So I think the first clear signal that we're about to go down is gonna be from Nvidia. Nvidia usually tells us first. I would love to see a red dot on the 3 week. That would be beautiful if we got that. Same thing with the 2 week. Actually, I hate looking at this, but I need to. Yeah, look at how bullish this is, man. This thing is still going. And you know what's really interesting? This happened in 2019 too, where the semiconductors just went vertical, man. And then they just collapsed. But man, this thing's on a god run. This is a life-changing run here. I mean, look at how overbought it is. You can't even see it. It's not even, it's like on the other time frame, it was already over the line. Look at that. This has never happened in history. Where are all the people screaming super cycle? They only show up when the top is forming. They're not going to be here for a while. Yeah, I'm not really sure what else to draw. There's really nothing left to draw. We've already got it all drawn out. It's either going to play or it isn't, you know? It's either going to play out or it isn't. That's really it. Nvidia will not drop. It needs to go sideways before dropping. Yeah, it's not going to drop now, but the red dot doesn't make it drop. The red dot lets you know that it's going to drop. We're looking for the drop to be towards the end of the year. But the fact that we're going sideways is what triggers the red dot, like last year. How much money does someone have to pay you to drive a car from California to Florida? Probably 100,000. I'll do it for 100,000. Maybe 50. No less than 50 grand. Yeah, I'd probably do it for 50 grand, honestly. For sure, I would do it for 50 grand. As long as all the expenses are covered, like gas and the hotel or motel. I feel like we're going much lower. That's interesting. Yeah, I was gonna look at something, but I don't. Oh, yeah. I guess, yeah, I'm not really sure what to say, you know? I think I think if we can get a controlled sell-off, that is really good. Like if we start bouncing around, you know? I mean, this would just be it would just be beautiful, man. It would be beautiful. I think if we just start going straight down, then we're probably not going to make a higher low. I'm in Cali now? No, I never said that. You have to read the chat, man. It's 1400 to ship my wife's car from Cali to Florida, so you're unfortunately bid out. Yeah, 1400 is not bad. 50K, most people would do it for 1,000. Yeah, there's a 0% chance I would drive. Do you know how long of a drive that is? I don't even want to drive. I wouldn't even drive. I would, no, there's no way, man. I wouldn't even fly to Cali for $1,000. Dude, you know how miserable that flight is? Imagine driving. There's no way. I'd rather just have nothing and stay where I am. I remember I flew to Las Vegas and I wanted to die. I couldn't take it anymore. We've been falling off the cliff. No, we haven't moved in 2 weeks. I'm about to make that flight on Tuesday night. So yeah, I guess the question is now that we know we're bearish definitively, we can turn our attention to the bottom because now that we got the move down, there's only two outcomes. We either go down now or we get the bullish scenario where we get the higher high and then we go down. So now that we know we're going down, where's the bottom? I'm starting to really think it is going to be below 40K. Because if you take your fib from this low to this high, you can see 36 and 38 do pop up. And correct me if I'm wrong, but IBIT launched right here. So if we went to 38K, which is literally the first fib retracement. Well, it's not the first one, but it's the first one after all this rubbish. Didn't IBIT come out in January? Yeah. So IBIT would be underwater. I'm starting to think that's where we're going. The real John Doe for 2 says, I bought GPUs at 25. Should I sell it? I appreciate the 2 GPUs. I don't know anything about this. I don't know if it's going to be the next big thing. I mean, I think if you're in profit, probably, if it keeps going, it keeps going. But it seems like every time this thing rallies, we turn bearish, you know? I think it's just following garbage because someone said AMC is going up too. Yeah, I would probably sell it. Not financial advice. If you're up, you're up. Could it be the next Amazon? You know, how often has anything ever become the next Amazon? That's what I ask myself. I think it's just benefiting from a super cycle, kind of like alt season. But I appreciate the two. I think if you're up 50%, you might as well. I mean, not you, I would. Because technically it could come all the way back to 30 cents and still be bullish. But normally when you get these scam rallies, they usually come back down. But I appreciate the two, man. 2% down in the last hour. Are we feeling like this is going to be capitulation? It's too early to say. Like, if I'm being honest, unbiased, for me to call capitulation, I would need to see the S&P come down. I think the fact that the S&P is not moving makes me think that it's not actually capitulation. It's just bear. I mean, we know it's bearish. It's just, are we going down now or are we going to get the bounce? But I think when the capitulation does come, if it is now, then the S&P will reverse. But because it's not, I have to assume it's not capitulation. But again, I could be wrong. Maybe we are about to go to 50K. Again, in my opinion, we have to come down here. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. I just don't know which path it's going to take. But now that we're moving down, a lot of people are starting to say that it's bearish, even though it is bearish. That's the point. But now that we're getting to move down, everyone's going to say it's going down to 50K. But it could get this higher low, which is what we need. Why do I sound sad? I'm not sad. Trust me, I'm not sad. I'm just, the character is done, man. There's no screaming into the microphone. I've been here for about 8, 9 years. So Bitcoin going back to where it was a week ago doesn't get me excited. I'm in a good mood for sure, but I don't have that grifting personality anymore because there's nothing happening. Curious if we test the power law. The power law will be invalidated. Penguin got decimated. Did it? See, I always fall for that. It's in the same spot. We got really good news, though, that MSTR is bleeding. So now we know it's bearish. This is such a good setup. Yeah, Robinhood is still bullet. I'm gonna be honest. I feel like we're too bullish to go down right now. You know? Like, yeah, Bitcoin is bearish, but we already knew that. I think for full-blown capitulation, the whole market, the whole globe sells off at the same time. Now we're getting really, really close to that because oil has just come down. It did come into my box, but my box is all the way out here. So maybe my time is off. That's the only thing I'm nervous about is the timing. The box got hit already. When we were up here, we said we were coming down here. The reason why this is a little bit worrisome, although it makes me happy in the sense that we know we're bearish, is because, again, every time we get a global sell-off, that's when Bitcoin goes down to the bottom. And now the fact that oil just pulled back, it basically confirms the idea. Look at 2022, look at 2018. But the S&P is not pulling back. That's why I'm holding out on the capitulation. It's when everything sells off together that it's full-blown capitulation. And the fact that that guy just came on the stream yesterday and said that they're going to raise interest rates again, it's almost like there's going to be one more pipsqueak scam rally for like the euphoria, and then they're going to pull the rug. But it's when they pull the rug, that's where Bitcoin goes down to 50,000. Again, that's my hypothesis. Obviously, if we just go down to 50K now, then so be it. I'm not a TA guy. But from the evidence that I see, that's what usually happens. In 2015, we did go down without the S&P. So it's not impossible. But again, you have Coinbase is holding up, Webull is holding up, Gemini is holding up, Robinhood is bullish. These are all stocks that topped out with Bitcoin. So, or earlier, right? Webull turned bullish way earlier, back in April. But there's no doubt that I love that we got this move, because now I know in my heart that it's going to 50K. You can't convince me otherwise. It's impossible. Right? Just like everyone in the chat yesterday said, or maybe it was 2 days ago, like the bottom is in. I say just agree to disagree. I can't convince them that it's bearish, and they can't convince me that it's bullish. There's nothing you can show me that's going to make me bullish. Especially now. You know, which is why if we get the exact move we're looking for, it's going to be so freaking fruitful, because we know exactly where we are. You notice how it was a super cycle, and now those people are gone, and now the bears are in the chat saying we're going to break the low. Now if we go back up, the super cycle people are going to come back. But we're literally saying it in real time before it happens. So it's just when you get to that moment, you have to stick to your guns. And that's what I'm trying to do. I also have to respect, though, that I'm not a TA guru, and we may just go straight down. I'm not bullish in any sense. I'm just not 100% convinced that we're going down yet. That doesn't mean I'm right. It's just that's what I'm thinking. Because, again, now, especially with oil finally breaking down, like, we know we're getting closer to the end of the bear market. There's no question in my mind. And there are still YouTubers that are bullish. They need to be wiped out completely before we can say that we're bullish. Just like how in 2022, when I got wiped out and then we turned bullish, there's still too many people that are bullish. They need to be fully submerged in, oh my gosh, I can't believe we're not bullish yet, you know? And we're just not there yet. Raising rates is bearish, a cut would be bullish. Yeah, you just have to check the historical data when you say that. If Bitcoin goes over 70K, what will be the price of Dogecoin? It's not really that easy to tell, in my opinion. Demon for 2 says, AMC going to $20. I appreciate it too. AMC to $20. I would say $4 is on the table. And $10 is max. But I think the fact that AMC is pumping, you know, like it's like almost telling you beforehand that we're finally wrapping this up. You know, when something like AMC is pumping, it's letting you know that we're finally at the end of the bull market. Because like again, in spring of 2024, how many people's net worths topped out? So if I had to guess, I told somebody before they were in the chat, however high it gets, I would probably get out before the summer's over because it's probably going to come back down. But I would say $4 is possible. If you're just going to hold it forever, I would say once you clear $4, you probably could. But for now, it's still risky. So you can stay bullish over $2. Once you fall below $2, though, that's it. It's going back down. And if I had to guess, I would probably say that it's probably down here again. And I could be wrong. I could be wrong. But I would argue this box is more likely than this box up here by the end of the year. We got a lot of bears in the chat today, so maybe today is exactly what we need. Man, you guys gotta understand, if this plays out exactly how we drew it, it's gonna be one for the record books. How is Dogecoin going down and Robinhood and SpaceX are pumping? Because Dogecoin is attached to Bitcoin, not SpaceX or Robinhood. You can't send me a super chat? It's okay, man. You don't have to send me a super chat. It's good that you're making money. I like that. Like, I want people to make money. I don't want people to lose money. I just think, in my opinion, every time AMC rallies, it goes back down. And I think the fact that John Doe was in here with another shitcoin saying the same thing, it's telling me that we're clearly in some type of euphoria phase. That doesn't mean that it's over. And that means it could keep going. That's also why I don't necessarily think it's time for Bitcoin to go down yet. So AMC could keep going. I'm just saying that, especially if Bitcoin gets up here. I think if Bitcoin gets up here, AMC is going to top out. It'll probably top out before that. So if anything, I want AMC to go up because I need Bitcoin to go back up, which it still might. You know, I like that the chat was bearish today. The chat was bullish up here, and now the chat's getting bearish. Now, that doesn't mean that the chat is wrong. It's just when people come out of nowhere and start saying it's bullish or bearish, that's different. Like, if you watch the stream every day, then obviously you're probably bearish because we're bearish. But there's an increased activity that we're going lower now, and I'm not entirely sure. That doesn't mean I'm right. It's just I'm not 100% confident that we're going down now. So if we just sit here, that's why this move was so big. You guys got to understand. If the price of Bitcoin goes lower and just sits here until the end of June, it's almost giving you a golden egg telling you we're bearish. Because now you're primed for the Moonboy chart. Like, literally primed. There's nothing you can do to escape this golden box. And the fact that we drew this 2 months ago, it makes me think it's going to play out. But That's why I'm getting a little bit nervous, but I'm also getting a little bit excited because if we just go straight down from here, then obviously we're not going back up. But the fact that we're going down opens up the door for us to stay down here until July. Like, we're not just going to teleport back up. Like, this move confirms that we're bearish. The only way it wouldn't be bearish is if we just shot up like this. So I guess if by next week we're back at 70K, then obviously it's not bearish, but I don't see that happening. We're doing what we always do, which is we sell off out of the FOMC meeting. And because the semiconductors are just so bullish, it's like, oh my God, look at that. The semiconductors are so bullish that it makes me think that this is a fake rally. Because even back here when Bitcoin crashed, the semiconductors went down. You know? That's the biggest, for me, that's one of the biggest pieces as to why I don't think it's time to go down just yet. Even though the semiconductors didn't capitulate, they still fell. They fell by 30% as Bitcoin was going down. Here it is again. The semiconductors fell as Bitcoin was going down. The fact that they're about to make a new all-time high, I mean, here it is right here. They fell together. The fact that there's a divergence forming makes me think that Bitcoin's not going down yet. But again, I want you to understand that I could be wrong about that. It's just, it would just be such a perfect setup if that ends up being true, because then we're going to get exactly what we drew out. Now, could this be wrong too, and we just go to the moon? Sure. But I don't believe that, because the 4-year cycle says the bottom should be around here somewhere. And if we're all the way up at 70K, then how on earth do we go from 70K down to 40K without going down like this? So today was this week was a massive week. Remember I said this is probably the biggest FOMC meeting for the rest of the bear market? And it is, because it just told us that we're going down by the end of the year. At least in my opinion, right? Maybe we're bullish for some people, but I have 100% conviction that we're going below 50K. I'm starting to think we're going below 40K. I just don't have 100% conviction that we're going to bounce. I have a little bit of conviction, that's why I'm not doing anything, but I'm not 100% sure that we're going to bounce, because I do have to respect the fact that I don't know for sure. Like, again, when we were back here, I knew for sure that we were going down. I don't know for sure that we're going down or we're going up. But if we're up here, I don't want to say I know for sure, but I would bet that we're going down, because there's no more time left. And you could ask, well, what if it's different? Maybe that's true, but then you ask the question, well, if it's different, then why on earth did we top right here? The only explanation that we topped, because a lot of people did call the top, I was not one of them, but the only reason we topped here was because of the 4-year cycle. So that means, why on earth would the bottom be here? For no reason. That means the bottom has to be here somewhere. And you might ask why. There's no answer. Why was this the top? So why ever this was the top is the same reason why this is the bottom down here. And if we get this relief rally, how do you go from 70K down to 40K? You have to go straight down. So it would just be the most beautiful setup I think I've ever seen. I just hope it plays out. This guy said we're literally going to 20K. I have strong conviction. I know 100%. I mean, is it even possible that we go to 30K? We don't want to get too bearish now. 30K, I think 30K is too bearish. But is there any evidence for that? $30K is all the way down. Yeah, no, I think that's too low. Because you're getting diminished returns on the bear market as well. And we went from 83 to 78, so I don't think you're going to get the same bear market twice. Yeah, I think that's why I bet with you. You said 20K, there's no way. Why would you have a bigger bear market if you had a smaller bull market? I think max pain would be like 37, 36. Because even at 36K, I can't say it's impossible because I know Bitcoin goes lower than people think it will. But like you don't want to just exaggerate and say 20,000. That now you're having a bigger bear market. That doesn't make any sense. That will be the first time ever. Yeah, I don't buy that. That's too bearish. That's Mr. Bear right there. But I think I could definitely see 36, 37, 38. Again, especially because that matches full-blown capitulation for IBIT, where everybody who ever bought IBIT would be underwater, which is where everybody would get out, and that marks the bottom. But anything less than 36, I think is overkill. You're also making higher highs. Yeah, you're making higher highs, but you're making diminished returns on the upside, which means you're making diminished returns on the downside. I mean, listen, if you're gonna tell me that December 1st Bitcoin's 30K, I'd probably be screaming in the streets of Detroit saying, "Thank you for giving us all this money." I just don't see it being realistic, 30K. It's way too low. This guy said it's different this time. I'm going all in the 40s. I personally think anything below 44,000 is probably like worth buying, honestly. I'm not buying Bitcoin. I mean, I don't know. We'll see what I could do, but I wouldn't touch Bitcoin until it fell below 44,000. I hope Sailor's Ponzi doesn't get nuked. No, it's gonna, man. It will. We just turned maroon now. We still got a long way to go. Especially with this Ponzi going to zero now. But like, that's another big indicator. The fact that MSTR is underperforming Bitcoin also lets us know that it's bearish. This is the stuff I'm talking about. Like, we're getting more confirmation that we're bearish now. So if we can get a relief rally and MSTR underperforms, you're almost getting spoon-fed. You're getting spoon-fed that it's bearish. That's why I love the move. I do. I love that we just got the move that we just got. I just want it to hold. But I know I keep saying that over and over again, but that's just where I'm at. Where would Doge be if Bitcoin hits 38K? Probably 5 cents. What's up, eat my shorts? If we hit the 30s, I expect wicks. No, Bitcoin has never bottomed on a wick. Whoever says wicks, like, You always get a big ass candle. If you're gonna tell me COVID, that's not the bottom. The bottom was back here. If you see a big ass wick, I mean, obviously, if you go back when we were all in diapers, yeah, there's a wick here. But even still, there's two candles here. But this was technically the last time you had a wick. That was 12 years ago now. You know, even the very first bear market, you didn't bottom on a wick. So if I ever see a wick, I'm telling myself that's not the bottom. Even if we got something like this, it's not the bottom. When you bottom out, you stay down there for a little while. You know? Like you had a bottom here and then you made a lower low. I don't know. Was this the bottom on the 9th or was the bottom on the 21st? Yeah, no, the bottom was on the 21st. So there's no wick. The cryptocurrency land need to get some more retail buyers. The only way is Bitcoin has to go under 50K. I don't think retail's ever coming back. Or they come back at the top. That's how it always is. Man, today was a big day. Today was a big day, man. Big day. Hopefully Doge doesn't break 5 cents. I hope so too, but it's not impossible. But at the end of the day, like I said, I'm kind of over the hill now. So I know my YouTube channel is never going to be what I wanted it to be. So I might have to jump ship off of Doge, pick something else, or we'll see what happens. But ideally, it wouldn't break 5 cents. And we would get something like Stellar Lumens, where you basically come back to the low and then it holds. This would be beautiful for Dogecoin. Which Stellar Lumens is holding up very well too. Gotta respect it. But the same thing did happen in 2018 too, where it was doing so well and then it just went to shit. So Matthew Dropco is in the chat. I love inflation. Man, this is gonna be a generational opportunity if this comes. But only if we get only if we get the COVID crash. If we don't get the COVID crash for SPY, then it doesn't really help. I guess I can look at that. Do we have... I'm pretty sure we do have big divergences. Yeah, we do. We've got monster divergences. Same thing happened last year. It doesn't mean that it's bearish. It just means that you're opening up Pandora's box to a big drop. Yeah, you're getting monster divergences, man. I think it's got to come down here. Oh, maybe that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to start preparing for SPY. Yes, I knew I wanted to do something. I just couldn't remember what it was. We have Bitcoin bottom signals, but we don't have SPY. I did notice that you do get green dots a lot when you're at the bottom. It happened twice in a row now. Green dot printed and the bottom was in. Yeah, it happened in 2018 as well. Look at that. You didn't get it in 2022, but you also had a traditional bear market. Yeah, you had it in 2015 as well. Look. I think the green dot might be one of the key indicators that the bottom is in. It's legit. I mean, even in 2009, you kidding me? Now, it's not going to be perfect. But I mean, if you bought on the first green dot, you got in at 90. You got close enough. Well, I guess you got screwed on this one. Yeah. So it's not perfect. Yeah, but this is freaking 2008, dude. So maybe the 2-day green dot is going to be good. And we can combine that with the 200-week moving average. So if we're getting a green dot on the 2-day time frame, and oh, this is good too when the weekly. Oh, is this present in 2018? Yeah, look at that. When this indicator turns green again, the bottom is in. Look at that shit. Yeah. All right. I like that. So we could speculate that if we're at the 200-week moving average and we get a 2-day green dot, yeah, man, when this indicator turns green, the bottom is in. Even here, even though you got a higher low, sorry, even though you got a lower low, you still bounced by 15%. Yeah, I like that. Oh, I don't know if we're gonna get the COVID crash, man. It would be nice if we did, but I don't know for sure that we are. What indicator prints the dots? It's called WTX. Wave Trend Oscillator by Dread Blitz. Yeah, I actually got this from somebody in 2022. He doesn't, I don't know what happened to him. He just vanished. I got all my indicators from my viewers. They just leave, and I never leave. The only indicator that's mine is the stock RSI, but that's everyone uses the stock RSI. Like, not everyone uses indicators, of course, but the stock RSI is like the most basic indicator. It goes RSI and then stock RSI. They're like the most basic indicators. But all the indicators that we talk about ever, I've gotten from the viewers, the chat over the years. Right, the Cutler RSI I got from this German kid. He was like 18. Oh, well, now he's probably 22, but he doesn't come here anymore either. But I got this from a German kid. Cutler RSI. MACD, again, is very basic. Everyone uses the MACD. This is one of the top indicators, the stochastic heat map. I got this from somebody in a super chat. Everything's from 2022. We're using the same indicators over and over again. Local Liquid is in the chat. Eat My Shorts says, can I send a membership gifting? I can't super chat. I want to ask something. So why don't you just type it? Just type it in the chat. Man, this is it, guys. Like we've talked about this exact scenario for the last 2 weeks. It's just now is happening, right? Oh wait, where did we stop? Oh man, we're right on the 618 retracement. Oh my gosh. Yeah, this is it, man. If we form a low here, they're running the same play for the third time in a row. We bottom at the 618 here. We bottomed at the 786 here. Yeah, this is it, gentlemen. Oh, we bottomed at the 618 both times. Why did I think it was the 786? Was it this? Yeah, I guess it was this. Is that what happened here? No. Yeah, this is it, man. I don't know if it's going to hold, though. I'll admit, I'm a little nervous. But the path that we would be taking, if it does end up playing out, would be we go up into the FOMC, we go down, then we make a higher high. Everybody gets bullish, and then we go down. But we would need it to take a long time. It would have to last like through the end of June to get accumulation. Kind of like what happened here. See how we sat here for like 2 weeks? The 27th all the way until the 7th. So what is that, like a week and a half? And here we sat here for a while. We would go back up. Everybody is ultra bullish. We have our short-term holder realized price and our 200-day moving average. Man, this would be freaking textbook, man. And you have to, like, the fact that Bitcoin is just so mathematical is just a thing of beauty, man. Like both prior drops, we bottomed at the 786 and the 618. And then this literal top we just formed was right at the 382 retracement to the T. It's just such a it's almost like it's just driven by algorithms. Maybe it is. That's why I'm thinking if we can get this rally, we might get back up to 72,000. We might. But if we don't, then it would be 70,000. But it doesn't matter where the top is. As long as it's a higher high, that's all that matters. And then we would have to go all the way down. Like the fact, and that's what's really interesting here. The fact that from this low to the high, you get levels here. From this low to the high, you get levels here. From this low to the high, you get levels here. It's almost like we have to go to 48,000. There's nothing you can do about it. And 38,000 shows up twice too. I bet you if you pull it up to here, a little higher, 43,000. I'm just not 100% sure that we're gonna get the bounce, but I am still leaning towards the bounce because we do have our Moonboy chart. Yes, I am biased about that. But the S&P looks like it's getting ready to go up again. And the semiconductors are going up again. Just made a new all-time high almost. What about that DRAM? Yep. Oh my gosh, the DRAM did make a new all-time high. So I I love that MSTR is bearish because it tells us that we're bearish, but I don't want it to go down yet. I want it to hold up. But I mean, dude, this is like hot lava. It's a ticking time bomb. It looks like it wants to go down. It definitely does. It looks like it's about to go straight down. And it is. I just hope they kick the can down the road another 20 days. We got to eat my shorts. Send one gifted sub. I appreciate the sub, man. That is awesome. Best entry for Bonk? 0. I appreciate the sub, man. Yeah, I'm gonna be honest, man. Just from being in crypto for as long as I have, which is bad because I really should have been gone by now, there's no guarantee these coins are gonna recover, man. I would just let it go. I'm not saying I'm the YouTuber to watch, but you're gonna have to watch YouTubers that explore shitcoins if you want to buy shitcoins. Because there's no guarantee that Bonk is going to recover. Genuinely. If we look at Ethereum for history, we can see that many coins did not recover. I do think Bonk should have a retracement, but I would assume that once Bonk falls below 34, you may come all the way down to 1. I know that seems really low, but the problem is, don't forget that when Solana was bullish in 2023, Bonk went down. So this is the chart that you have to look at. This is the full chart. And as of right now, Bonk is still up 24x, which means there's a chance here that Bonk is going to go all the way to the 618 retracement, which is all the way down here at 15, which does line up with the prior all-time high. The problem is it's a gamble. I'm not going to say that I know. It could go back up. But I can't say that you buying at 16 guarantees you're going to get a 20x because I just spent the last 10 years trying to do that and almost none of the coins went back to their all-time highs, specifically the meme coins. Because the problem is next market cycle, there's going to be another bonk because you'll notice that bonk didn't exist last market cycle. Bonk actually came out in the beginning of 2023. So for all we know, they're cooking up the next big meme coin and it's not coming out until the end of the year. But for your question specifically, I think Bonk could go to 15 because I think Solana is going to go to $30 to $40, which is like a 30% drop. So I think Bonk could go to 25 to 15 personally. But honestly, I think the old meme coins are dead. I could be wrong about that, but I would just pick a new... If you were going to buy meme coins, I would buy a new coin that's not out yet. Well, I appreciate the sub. How about Shiba? Yeah, Shiba's a perfect example of that. How many of us, including me, were like, oh man, Shiba is going to go back to the high, and then it just made a lower high, and now it's going to 0. Bonk is going to suffer the same fate. But again, you could get a retracement in the middle. That's the reality. It's very, I would actually say it's likely that you get a retracement in the middle. But if you're going to be a trader, then why even bother trading bonk? Why just, you know? I think a lot of these doo-doo coins are going to be gone, which they'll never disappear, and there'll always be buyers and there'll always be YouTubers shilling them. So they're never going to definitively go to zero. But from what I've seen and all my failures, these meme coins don't go back up. So I would tell you there's probably better options out there. But if you had to buy bonk, not financial advice, I would say between 30 and 15 by the end of the year. And if that's not going to happen, then at some point in the next month, bonk is going to get a 100% gain. That's the only way I would say it wouldn't happen. So I don't want to pretend to be a guru, but again, just from what I've seen, these coins don't go back up. I mean, and the fact that now we're seeing that with actual coins, I said this yesterday, Avalanche just made another low today. And I'm pretty sure Avalanche is actually partnered with Amazon, and it's still going to zero. So it's all rubbish. But from what I've seen, you're probably better off waiting for a new meme coin. The problem is there's a million of them. So it's not going to be that easy. I know that's not the answer you're looking for, but yeah, it looks like Nvidia. Yeah, is it just me or does it look like we're getting ready for another push to the upside? Yeah, I don't think it's time to go down yet, man. Now I'm getting a little excited. Man, if this ends up playing out, we just got we just got bearish confirmation. Yeah, see, look, iBit does a similar thing where it looks like it's gonna go down, but it doesn't. Oh, and the stock market's closed tomorrow, by the way. Yeah, look at that. I'm not saying I'm gonna be right. Maybe we do go down. Even originally, I thought this didn't make any sense, but the more I looked at it, I'm like, well, technically this did happen in 2018, where you just had a little scam rally back up. Or even, maybe it's even this one. And like, the fact that the time is the same too, man. June of 2018. And you know what's so funny is I'm actually looking for the top to be in the last week of July. So the fact that it's there, I don't think this is where we are. But I mean, dude, Bitcoin does love doing similar moves. It's never the same. And the thing is, you could even use 2022 as an example too, and you can take this pattern and just stretch it out. Where, you know, like why can't this happen? Where we spike up into August and then we go straight down. It's not going to look like this. It's going to be much larger, but the concept is the same. You just came out of a big capitulation. You just got the big move up. Now we're going to float around, spike up, and then go down into the bottom. That's why the move we just got today is one of the biggest moves we've seen because it gives clarity. I keep saying that. Everyone on YouTube is spewing Clarity Act, Clarity Act. You just got your Clarity Act. We're going down. I'm just not 100% sure if it's going to do this or if it's going to do this. And that's why you have to watch your favorite YouTuber because they know exactly where we're going and they never post a losing trade. You ever notice that? Every YouTuber I've ever seen has never Ooh, I almost said the F word. Has never posted a loss. Welcome to the stream, Mr. Beebs. 68K is a punk ass. Wow, the stock market is just so bullish, man. Damn. Oh, man. Yeah, I gotta start trusting myself. I really do. I literally told myself this thing is gonna make a new all-time high when we were down here. You know, sometimes you just know. And I never trust myself. I swear I was in it and I was like, dude, this thing's gonna rip. And I always fade my own call, man. It's really bad. That's why I have to trust this. I'm not saying that this is gonna play out. I don't know. But I will know that if we're up here, that's it. We're going down. This is it, guys. This is a big moment, man. We just got confirmation that we're going down, in my opinion. And like we're just so prepared because even if I'm wrong and it's actually a super cycle, this indicator is going to tell us that. That's what I'm saying. But the fact that this thing is already dying again, like this indicator is going to tell us that it's bearish before it's bearish. It's just such a good indicator. I'm going to see if I can pull it up actually. Yeah, here it is right here. Yeah, man, look at this. This was from May. I was saying the same thing. You see how when we're actually bullish, it goes up? Let's see. Well, I mean, you probably can't tell because I don't have the sound on. But I did, yeah, here it is. I did show it to you when we were up there. Dude, look at that shit. This indicator is one of the best indicators, man. I'm telling you, it's gonna tell us that it's bearish before we're bearish. So if we sit through the same thing again, we're gonna know that it's bearish. That's why I like it so much because it's gonna tell us before and like, hey, we're bearish. Hello. Anybody in there? We're bearish. That's why today's move was so pivotal because it's already pushing it down. Man, I'm ready. I don't know if we're gonna get the rally. For all I know, we could wake up tomorrow and it's already at 60K, 58K. But What do you guys think? You think we're gonna get another rally? I'm open to it. I'm getting a little bit excited now, honestly. Because MSTR is showing weakness, which is a really good sign for the bears. That's why this one was confusing, because MSTR was doing good, but this time it was bearish. So I would actually argue that MSTR making another low without Bitcoin is like the market spoon feeding you that it's bearish. They do that sometimes, but they don't do it always. But I think sometimes it gets too bearish to where the soda can explodes, where it just can't hold up anymore. Max Bullish, thanks for the 2. What's the name of the indicator? This? It's long-term holder MVRV, separate from the MVRV score. But the MVRV score is the same thing. Oh, well, maybe, I don't know. Maybe it is the same. Hold on. Oh, it is the same thing. Yeah, it's the same thing. It's just not the MVRV score specifically, because the MVRV score, I think, combines both the MVRV of the short and the long-term holders. But we don't care about the short-term holders. We only care about the long-term hold. I think you could say the short-term holders are good for marking the peaks, and the long-term holders are good for marking the bottoms, which is why if you just combine them, you can't really use it anymore because it doesn't go as high as it used to, but it comes back to the same place every time. That's why it's better for marking bottoms than tops. Like, there's going to be always people in the chat that say, oh, look, it's not going to work this time because it didn't hit overbought. Meanwhile, you made a lower high from 2021 and 2017, rather, but you still came back to the same low. And the fact that we're right there, the next move down, we're going to get it. But it's the long-term holders that dictates where the bottom is. And we're not there yet, but we're really close. I just, as of right now, I love what I'm seeing. We're still going sideways. MSTR is showing signs of major weakness. The S&P 500 is bullish. Yeah, look. Oh, look, MSTR did make a new low for SPY. Yeah, we're deep in the bear market, gentlemen and the 3 ladies. Yeah, no, we're bearish, man. That's bearish. Oh, I'm so happy. No, I'm not happy, but I'm optimistic. That's what I would say. Yeah, no, we're gonna go straight down from here, man. I just don't know if we're gonna go down now. I'm hoping there's another bounce, but there might not be. I think if we're still sitting here by the end of June, we're not going down yet. But MSTR can go down. We don't, there's no rule that says MSTR has to drag Bitcoin down. It's gonna drag it down eventually, but I think in the short term, and again, I cannot stress enough, maybe we are about to go straight down. There's no, we have to rally from here. We could just go straight down. I'm just saying from what I see, normally the S&P goes down with us, and the fact that it's getting ready to make a new all-time high again, it's making me think we got a chance for a relief rally. Riser says I want winter. I have to emigrate to Alaska. Negative 30 degrees in the summer. STRC is recovering. Is it? That's a good sign. I want it to go back up. I'm glad you said that. I think that is bullish. It's a good sign that it's recovering. Riser for two says Scheisparent. Scheisenhausen. Scheishausen. I appreciate the two from Riser. Scheishausen. Schmeisen. Schmitty. Schmeisen. Schmitty Riser. Risen. I appreciate the two. So now my last question now is, where is the bottom? Do we really think it's below 40K? I think it has to be, right? It has to definitely be below 50K. There's no argument. But do we go below 40,000? Do we go below 40,000? Yeah, I forgot about this indicator too. I'm gonna get rid of this. We don't even use the super trend anymore, right? Oh, this just broke, by the way. Ultra bearish. Yeah, oh man, we're ultra bearish. We don't really use the super trend anymore. I don't think we need it. Yeah, man, we're bearish. Look at that. Where was my indicator? This it? Yeah, this is it here. Yeah, this indicator is good too. It paints a picture of where we are. Yeah, nah, you could just see where we are. That's why indicators are so good. I mean, I don't think you can just blindly rely on them, but at the same time, indicators are so advanced from what they used to be, you know? But you could just see we're about to enter the Scheishausen. When you're in the purple, you're officially in the Scheishausen. Yeah, so I mean, the same thing will be true on the upside. If we turn blue, then we'll know we're finally bullish. So we're gonna have plenty of time to plan for that, though. I don't want to bother with that right now. I want to find the end of the bear market, but yeah, when this turns blue, you leave to Scheishausen. Riser for two says we've ended up on a prison planet here. And then he says for two, nothing. I appreciate. Did you send me $6 just now? I appreciate that, man. I appreciate that a lot. It helps out. It does. Thank you for the two, man. The Scheishausen master. I appreciate the two. And this is really good because like it tells you that we're not at capitulation yet, but we're getting close. Yeah, we're getting there. When you get these green dots. I have so many indicators that I don't share. These are for the premium members, but I don't even use them. I don't even use them anymore because we're so close to the end that I'm not gonna overcomplicate it. I have my super secret indicator that I found. But I can't share it. My top secret formula for the Krabby Patty. I bought MSTR at 210. 210? When the hell would... How's that even possible? Back here? Damn, you had a chance to get out, man. Oh, it just made another low. Man, I would really like for us to, yeah, if MSTR makes another low, that's the biggest bearish signal you're ever gonna get. You know, I still see YouTubers saying MSTR is gonna go up. What is the name of the second indicator? I don't know. The blue one I just had? I think it's Nupal Z-score. This one? Yeah, Nupal Z-score. And it's just interesting because it takes the data from Bitcoin and puts it on SPY. So this red arrow is what Bitcoin is. This red arrow is what SPY does when Bitcoin prints the arrow. So yeah, wow, the S&P is really pushing now. I mean, look at Robinhood. Man, maybe I should start AI. Is AI really that good? I'm gonna be honest, man, my AI is not that good. Every time I try and make a thumbnail, I have to explain to it over and over again. Like, it's cool, but it's not. Is it really that big of a thing where it's just a $10 trillion asset? But you guys can see that the S&P does come back. The saying goes, they always come back. The S&P does come back, man. So I do think we're gonna get something. This is just the first. I mean, it's not even the first time. You can see you got something like that in 2015 as well, where it was bullish and then it went down. Should I get out now? I mean, man, someone in the chat literally not even a week ago said they bought MSTR at 136 or something. And I told them you should be able to get out at 136 or 131 or whatever. Oh no, they bought in at 126. I can't tell you to sell, man, you know? Like if you sell then it bounces, you might come back here telling me why did you sell? I can't tell you to buy or sell. I can only tell you that I think MSTR is going to like 80 bucks or lower. So you got to do with that whatever. But I think MSTR is going much, much, much lower. I just don't know exactly when. But I'll admit that I love that it's doing this because now we know we're bearish. And I think there's a chart for that, right? BTC divided by MSTR. We talked about this. Maybe the other one was better. No, that doesn't help either. I know this was a good chart. Coinbase BTC. Yeah, I made this back in February for myself because I was setting myself up which is what I'm doing now, but I'm just streaming it because why not? Why not just stream it? But I made this chart by myself, and we'll know the bottom is in when Coinbase comes down into this box. Because every time Coinbase has come into this box, the bottom was in. Or maybe not the bottom, but whatever move you're in, the bottom for that. Do you see how Coinbase came into this box and then the bottom formed? And then it happened again in May and again in December. And it happened again in April. So Coinbase needs one more flush down, I think. And when it comes down here, I'll know that's the bottom. But for now, it's not, we're not there yet. Ryan for 2 says, what's your prediction on MSTR low? I appreciate the 2. Well, I don't want to pretend to be a know-it-all because I'm not. I think MSTR has a lot to unpack as far as the premium. You'd have to go dive into a wormhole. But if you just keep it basic and you say Bitcoin should go below 40K or 45K, that's a 30% decline. You have to imagine at least a 30% decline for MSTR would be $75. So maybe between 75 and 50, I think. Not financial advice. Thoughts on MSTU? I think it's dangerous. I don't think it's as clear cut as we make it seem. Again, when I'm a grifter, I just say whatever I want. But if you really look at the math, this MSTU is dangerous because it falls twice as fast as MSTR. But you have to look at the compounded drops. Because if MSTR pulls back by 34%, then your stock is going to fall by 68%. And MSTR has had multiple 30 to 40% drawdowns, meaning that your stock might not move. And that's what happened to coin. This Coinbase long topped out in March of 2024, even though Coinbase topped out here. So you have to be careful with that. But at the end of the day, technically, if you did buy this at the low, you still got a 20x. So if you're just a degenerate and you don't care, then I guess go for it. Not financial advice. But that stock, I would not touch it. It's going to zero first. Maybe after it goes to zero, it could be worth a look. If MSTR goes to 600, then I'm okay at 210. That's not a good way to look at it, man. You have the crypto brainwash mentality. And I'm not insulting you because I've had that mentality my whole life. And when I finally broke away from, you know, every time I lose all my money, it's because I have that mentality. Oh, if I just hold it, it'll go up. Every time I trade, not every time I trade, but every time I make a plan and I spend as little amount of time as possible holding an asset, I usually make money. When I start holding shit and I tell myself, oh, it's going to go back up, I always lose everything. I just want you to be open to the possibility that MSTR could go a lot lower than people think. And I'm one of those people. I don't know how low it's going to go. I don't think I would have ever imagined that it would go back to $15 back in 2022, but it did. You know, some people in the chat think it's going to $40. I'm not so sure that if it went to $40, it would go back up. I don't think it would. You'd probably get a retracement. So I don't think holding all the way to zero is the best idea. You know, I'm not telling you to buy or sell, but I do think MSTR goes much lower. John Doe. Oh, John Doe. John Doe for 2 says, thoughts on Webull? Yeah, Webull's interesting too. I actually think Webull is going to be a big play next bull run. It reminds me of Robinhood. I'm not going to pretend to be an expert because I don't know why Robinhood is going to the moon. I know people say AI, it's the narrative is always why it's going up, right? It's never because of the chart. So I'm going to assume that Webull is going to do this, but I do think Webull comes back. I think Webull's going to go back up. So I don't know why it's not going down. It should, but if it doesn't, it doesn't. I would argue that Webull is bearish as long as we're below 775. Once you get over 775, it's bullish. And a break of the 618 retracement, which we already bounced off of, will confirm at least a move back to the low, maybe $3. But I would say if Webull doesn't fall when Bitcoin falls, it's not going to fall. But I think the fact that it recovered may be telling us that Bitcoin's about to pump. That's what happened here and here. That's why I'm holding out that there's going to be a relief rally. But again, I could be wrong. Maybe we go straight down. But the fact that MSTR is bleeding, again, I like it because I'm bearish, but I don't like it because I don't want to wake up tomorrow and we're all the way down here. You know, that would be unfortunate. So hopefully we sit here. But I just think the fact that MSTR is back at the low and Bitcoin isn't, that's what happened back in the winter. Bitcoin made a higher low on December 1st, and MSTR made a lower low, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, it did. So it's definitely telling you that we're bearish. I just don't know if there's a relief rally or not. Today is not a fun day. Yeah, I'm curious. I don't know if you've been here for a while or not. I'm assuming you're new to the channel, man. Welcome. Yeah, it's unfortunate that you're holding, but I mean, maybe you can save the money that you still have. It's up to you. Memory for AI is booming. What I want is to hang out until October. No, it's not going to hang out until October. By October, we should be down below 50,000. I just wanted to hang out for another month. Is there any damage that's being done behind the scenes that we're not looking at? Not really, right? Everything is kind of doing the same thing. Oh man, that guy in the chat yesterday said he has VeChain. Yeah, it doesn't look like there's anything going on behind the scenes. Looks like everything is kind of doing the same thing. Only Avalanche made a new low. Memory chip companies, SK. Oh, is Micron still going? Wow, look at that. Yeah. You know, congrats to the stock boys. Stock boys win again. That's why I think if this all plays out, I'm gonna transition to a stock boy. I don't feel like doing this crypto rubbish anymore. You get all the downsides of the stock market and no upside. It's ridiculous. But I guess that's it. I think personally the stock market is too bullish right now. I'm a stock boy now. Cardano is the past. Yeah, Microsoft still being bearish also tells me that we're still bearish. I think MSFT and Meta are going to have big runs in the next 2 years. The fact that Meta's still in the dirt also tells me that we're bearish. But it all comes down to this, man. We're in the 7th inning right now. Are we going to make a higher low and recover, or are we going to go straight down? As of right now, we're doing exactly what we've done every time we've got a relief rally. We're sitting right on the 618 retracement, I believe. Yeah. So I guess if we break 60K, it's just gonna go down, you know. Is there a chance it goes like this where it makes a slightly lower low and then bounces again? I can't rule that out either, but at some point it's just gonna go straight down. I just don't know where that is. But, you know, we're on track. This is exactly what we're looking for. Now, if we sit here like this, now we know this rally is going to fail because it's taken too much time. We still have 2040. 2040, man. Just buy quantum. This thing sucks, man. No, it could be a good winner. Dude, if you bought this, you literally got Scheishausen. Crypto is done forever. Not necessarily. We'll see what happens. I think if we got the COVID crash, I would be a stock boy. If we don't get the COVID crash and we get the 2015 propaganda, then I'll have to be a crypto moon boy. I'm prepared for both scenarios. I'm not going to pretend to be a guru. I don't know. But as of right now, we're getting exactly what we need. We got a retracement out of the FOMC back to the 618 retracement. Now we want to see buyers come in between 60K and 62K. If they don't, and we just go straight down, so be it. We're in the 7th inning of a bear market. So at some point they're gonna pull the rug and we're gonna go straight down. I just have a little itch in my head that says we still could get this. And part of that's because of look at the freaking stock market. It's going up again. So I guess that'll do it for today. Another great stream today. Sailor STRC rugged. That's good. We're getting exactly what we need. Everything is doing exactly what we need it to. We just need a higher low here. If we can get a higher low, then we prepare. If we don't and it just goes straight down, then so be it. There's nothing to do. Nothing I can do. If it goes straight down, then the bull market starts quicker. No, if it goes straight down now, then we're going to get the same thing. It's just moved down. The bull market, if you're going to hold MSTR, you're not going to get your money back probably for another year and a half. If you're going to hold from 220, or what did you say, 212? Yeah, you're not going to get your money back for another year and a half, I think. Maybe I'm wrong about that though, but from what I see, if you bought in at $200, then technically we would go down, get accumulation, bada bing, bada boom. Yeah, you probably wouldn't get your money back until the end of 2027. Not financial advice. I mean, if MSTR does go to 50 bucks, like that guy in the chat is screaming, then I would probably get it personally. I mean, I don't think I could turn down a $50 MSTR. That would just be too cheap for me to not get in. But we'll see. We'll see. World Cup finals, France versus England. I'm going to save what I can and jump out. Well, if it bounces, just don't come back in here telling me you said it was going down. You know? You have to ask your financial advisor, who's not me, and make that decision. Not financial advice. But fingers crossed we get a bounce. So, all right, everyone. Stay safe as always. Enjoy your day. Appreciate the super chats and the views. Appreciate the support. None of this is financial advice, just entertainment. We'll be back tomorrow. Stay safe as we're getting really close to the end of the bear market, which means the worst is in front of us. I'm just hoping that it's in front of us, not tomorrow. So enjoy your day. See you soon. Stay safe. Take care.